A lot of people think confidence comes from achievement, from getting maybe a title, the relationship, the body, the money. And maybe you've told yourself the same thing, but once I get there, you're telling yourself, like, once I get there, I'm finally feeling confident. And that is what we're going to talk about today. But if you were true to yourself, you wouldn't still feel this creeping doubt that you are constantly telling yourself that you've already accomplished. And I know that feeling because you can look like you have it all together and still question yourself the moment that you're alone and your mind is just constantly running. You're overthinking it. You're overthinking about what you think, what you've said, but still wondering if you're doing enough for yourself. And maybe still feeling like you're one step away from being who you want to be. And I'm going to tell you, feeling the way you feel is not weakness. That's exhaustion from carrying something that you never meant to carry. So here's what no one talks about and no one says out loud to themselves. Most of us were never taught how to trust our own selves. We were taught how to perform, how to agree, how to just zip it and just do it, how to suck it up, how to be strong for everyone else. So we learn to silence parts of our own self just to stay safe or to stay accepted, or how about to stay loved? And over time, that quiet self abandonment, what does it do? It adds up and it keeps building and building and building. And then you stop asking what you need for yourself. You start measuring yourself against everyone else, your friends, your family, social media, probably mainly social media, because you're looking at what everyone else has or is doing. And then you're comparing yourself. And suddenly, what happens? The confidence feels like something you're chasing instead of something that you already have. And that is completely exhausting. And if you're feeling tired, not physically, but literally emotionally tired, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just carrying too much that was never yours to hold. And that sometimes we get caught up. We get caught up with all of what's going here, all of what's going around us and in social media. And then the confidence starts to dissipate. And then what ends up happening is you start going on survival mode and trying to explain yourself why you should have the confidence and why you're feeling the way you're feeling. And here's the part that might really surprise you is confidence isn't something that you earn. It is something that you achieve after you've proven yourself, your own worthiness. And the confidence isn't what's left when you stop portraying yourself. So here's what shows up with your actions, like finally matching your truth. These are the things that pop up. Is you don't gain confidence by becoming someone new. You gain it by showing up to the best version of yourself, by loving yourself, by accepting yourself. And that alone takes courage because it means saying to yourself, this doesn't feel right anymore. And I am allowed to change. And I don't need to explain myself to be valid. That's not ignorance. That is alignment. And I'm going to give you a moment of honesty for myself is I've had seasons and years ago, where I looked confident on the outside, and strong, capable, and but in the inside, I was questioning everything. Like literally having it all together. You know, the way I carry myself, the way I dress, that's who I am. I'm always polished, my hair's done, my makeup's done. Like I feel good. Like I feel good from the outside and the way I look, driving the nice cars, like all of that great stuff, working and making very good money in my career. But in the inside, I felt broken. I didn't feel aligned. And I was doing all the right things while quietly disconnecting from my own self. And the moment that things shift, it wasn't when I worked harder, guys. And that's another thing is sometimes we feel that we have to work so damn hard to get everything that you want. You know how you can get everything that you want? Do a self reflection on yourself. Get aligned with yourself, loving yourself, getting crystal clear on exactly what it is that you want for you, not getting validation from loved ones, not getting validation from friends, not getting validation from colleagues. It's getting validation for your own self because you are your own CEO. It is when I will tell you that I finally asked myself, where am I abandoning my own truth just to be accepted? Or just to be accepted the way my parents wanted me to be? Maybe, you know, um, my loved ones wanted me to be. But there's one thing with me, for those who know me, that I am my own person, and that is one thing that I validate myself. I do not have to be accepted by anybody else but myself. And if I'm not aligned with it, I will not do it. I may sometimes have second guess myself on something, but it takes me a minute to process and then I go for it. I do not get validation. I do not tell someone to tell me what to do or how to do it. That's one thing I don't like is for people to tell me what to do on what I want to do, if that makes sense. So that question to myself changed everything. Where am I abandoning my own truth just to be accepted? And that is where we lose disconnection. That's where we lose the confidence. Start accepting yourself because confidence doesn't come from pushing more or working harder. It comes from giving yourself permission to be real. If you're listening to this right now and something in you feels seen or heard or saying, you know what, Nancy, you're hitting everything on the money. Like, how are you hitting everything on the money? I want you to take a deep breath and I want you to ask yourself this without judgment. Where am I not being honest with myself right now? Think about it. Where am I not being honest with myself? It's not here to criticize. It's not here to fix it. I just want you to notice because awareness is where the healing begins. And then when you start to heal, then you'll start to get aligned. And then you will start loving yourself. And don't get me wrong, we all have our ups and downs. We all have those days where we might feel like we just want to hide and crawl in a hole, or we might have those off days, but it's okay as long as you're not stuck in those. Don't keep in that feeling in those days that you're feeling off. You don't need to become someone else to feel confident. You don't need to earn your worth. You just need to come back to yourself. And before we close, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your support with Empower with Nancy. Thank you for choosing to spend your time listening to me because your time is super sacred and I don't take that lightly. We all have busy days, but listening to a podcast that is self-developing, that's empowering, it is absolutely, I still as a coach listen to podcasts. And if this episode resonated with you, I hope that you will stay connected and start following me at Empower with Nancy so these conversations continue to find you when you need it the most. And as we move toward 2026, I want you to know something, that this new chapter isn't about pushing harder, like I said earlier, or becoming someone new, or you're having to change your whole life. It's about becoming real for yourself. Come home to yourself with more honesty, more compassion, more trust, and then the confidence will flow. We're not chasing confidence anymore. And you need to tell yourself, I am no longer chasing confidence. We're remembering who we are. So wherever you are in your journey, I'm really glad that you're here listening. And I hope this resonated with you. And I can't wait to walk this next season with you. And remember that you have full control of the wheel. With gratitude, Nancy.